Well, good afternoon, private practice success community. How are you? It is Gerda here. So, I do not have a lot of time this afternoon. I'll tell you why in a minute. But just before we get started, note that my car is standing still. Because I'm going to be talking to you whilst driving, but I'm starting whilst parked. And that's just for those guys that do get nervous about people that do live vlogs whilst driving, because I've got both hands free on the steering wheel. Okay, so no need to worry about anything like that. The thing is, this is part of our 90-day vlog challenge, and I definitely need to talk to you guys. And you know what my opinion is? That obviously you shouldn't be on your phone whilst you're driving, but there's a way of doing things. And I've got both hands on the steering wheel and I'm just talking to you, and I'm only going to stop talking when I actually stop my car. And if you know me well, you would know that I can talk underwater when it comes to private practice. In a social setting, I'm actually normally the quiet person. You probably won't believe that, but when I go to barbecues and stuff like that, I'm the quiet one that just sits and watches what everybody else is doing and listens to everybody's opinions, and might give my opinion every now and then, because I love observing people. I guess, that's what we psychologists do. We observe people. But I can talk a lot here, and I definitely did not want to talking to you guys, and I haven't had an opportunity to do it earlier today just because I had such a hectic morning. It started off with an early school drop-off. The boys had to go to before school care. Then I did my first radio interview. Then I had my hot seat Q&A for the week with my 90-day sprint people. And then I had to answer some very urgent emails, and then I had the choice of either doing my vlog or going for a run, and I knew that if I didn't go then it wouldn't happen. So I really prioritized my own self-care and my health, and I went for a run, came back, quickly hopped in the shower, didn't have time of course now to wash my hair, and I'm off to collect the kiddies at school. Which is why I'm talking to you guys now, because Friday afternoons is just crazy. So today, I believe, is vlog number 70. Most definitely requires some fireworks, which I don't have, but at least we're vlogging from a different location today, so that's one good thing. And the topic for today, of course, is the question that I want to pose to you guys, and I want to ask you, what have you done today, or if not today, at least this week, where you had to actually stretch yourself, i.e. you had to do something that stretched your comfort zone, something that you wouldn't normally do, something new. Maybe something you've always wanted to do but never had the courage, or just something that really scared you to death. Okay, or maybe not that bad, that was just scary. What have you done this week, even today, that stretched you? So for me this morning, it was being on that radio interview. Now, when I told my kids that they're going to before school care this morning because I'm doing a radio interview, they went, what station? I'm going, oh, you're going to be on the radio? I think sometimes my children think I'm like a bit of a celebrity, which of course I'm not. But that's what they think when they hear stuff like that. So it wasn't anything on like 96.5 or the local big radio stations. This was actually a radio station in San Diego in the US, and I thought it's awesome because at least if I embarrass myself, I embarrass myself in the US, where not a lot of people know me, so that's okay. I can survive that. And I must say, I was actually pleasantly surprised that I wasn't anxious beforehand, until 10 minutes before I had to log on, because that's what you need to do, so they check out all the connections and stuff like that. And all of a sudden on the screen I saw this countdown timer. that had like the minutes and the seconds, and it says so many minutes and seconds to go before the broadcast starts or before you go live. And the moment I saw that darn timer that reminded me of a NASA shuttle liftoff, I could feel the anxiety coming over me, and I went, OMG, what am I doing? And it's a 60-minute interview. Now, I know I can talk a lot about private practice, but you know, there's a certain etiquette when you do an interview. It's not the person asking a question and you know, do a 10-minute lecture or 10-minute verbal diarrhea on what it is that you want to say. It has to be conversational, and having a 60-minute conversation during an interview, I've never done that before. But I survived those 10 minutes, and I must say the person that interviewed me, Karen, was really great. We just basically chit-chatted, and I just told myself that what this is going to be for me is like having a phone call and a phone conversation with a close friend, where I'm literally talking to that person about what I'm passionate about what my new day job is now that I'm no longer a full-time clinical psychologist, but I'm just, you know, private practice success mentor coach, and what does that mean and what do I do as part of that. And I can tell you that when I hopped off that phone call, I went, geez, that went so fast. It felt like 10 minutes, and we spoke for the full hour. Beforehand, Karen said, you know, if we don't do the full hour, if we only get to 45 minutes, 50 minutes, that's okay too. And you know what? We probably could have talked for another hour, because that's just how easy it was, and there was so much flow. And I think it's a big testament to the interviewer, of course, that's asking the right questions, but it was also, I think, that what really helped was the mindset and the frame that I put around this conversation, and not seeing it as an interview with hundreds or even thousands of people watching and listening to every word I have to say, and me being worried about my grammar. Of course, I don't spell on the radio, but my grammar, or maybe sometimes when I get nervous because English is not my first language, I might forget what an important or a big word is. You know, I could have gotten caught up in all of that, but instead I just chose to speak to Karen, my interviewer. I just talked to her about what I did, and it was really, really exciting. And I think the same holds true for a lot of things that we need to do, and probably you need to do in your practice and even in your life, where sometimes we know we need to do something, we know we have to step outside of our comfort zone. Guys, I'm just stopped here at the traffic light. As you can see, I've still got both hands on the wheel, and I'm concentrating on the road. I think all of us, myself included, often have to do stuff in our life, whether business or personal or family or with our kids or anywhere, that is really hard, but we know it has to be done. But sometimes we make it a really big, scary, even catastrophic thing in our minds and in our heads. And if you allow yourself to go on that downward spiral of anxiety-provoking and fear-provoking thinking, we all know where it ends up, and it's not a good place, and it's not a helpful place. And you know, I know I'm speaking to the converted, but it has to be said that what you need to do is just do it. You need to stretch yourself. So I really want you to think about, what have you done this week to step outside of your comfort zone? You know, it could be something like having picked up the phone and called up and scheduled my very first GP meet and greet with a local doctor. Okay, it could be something as simple as that. It could be something as simple as having made the decision to hire my first receptionist, and I've put the ad out there and I'm taking that leap. You know, that's a pretty big one actually. You know, acknowledging that you need that help and starting to outsource that stuff, and giving over a lot of the control that comes with doing that job at the front desk. You know, it might be something like having signed a new lease for a bigger premises, which is going to allow you to extend your practice. Maybe it is something like having had a really difficult performance related conversation with one of your team members. maybe there's somebody that consistently starts their sessions late or consistently don't get the reports done on time, and you've been avoiding having this conversation, but finally this week you've stepped up to the plate and you have addressed it. Please share it in the comments below. I know it's not always easy doing those things, so you really want to give yourself a pat on the back and say that I've stepped up. If you feel that it's too confidential and you don't want to share it and you don't want to give the details around what it is that you've done, still comment and just let me know and go, Gerda, I've done something really big this week and I'm very proud of myself. Even if it's a general comment like that. And if you want to share it with me, feel free to message me here on the page. There is a message option. Send me a message and share it with me personally. I promise not to tell anyone. Okay, most definitely won't. It's up to you, but I encourage you to connect with me over messenger here as well. Alrighty, so that's me. Obviously today I can't look and see if there's any questions or comments because I am driving and I'm keeping my hands on the steering wheel until I stop at the school. So we are probably 2 minutes away from the school. What I will do, however, is after I get home from school pickup, I will come back to this live stream, look at your comments, and I will respond to those as well. So whilst I still have you for another 2 minutes, I realize that there are some of you that hasn't been to my one-day introductory level workshops. And I've been a bit naughty in I haven't really told you guys here on Facebook that I've opened registrations, and I probably should have done that already 2-3 weeks ago. So if you know, the easiest way to learn about what I do and what I teach is to get a copy of my book. That's $30 to get a copy. However, a book can only take you so far, and nothing comes close, and believe me, nothing comes close to spending the day with a room full of other private practice owners that has the same challenges that you do. I can't tell you how it feels when that isolation is finally broken and you go, oh my goodness, it's not me. It's not me. I thought it was me, but it's not, because everybody else in the room has either the exact same problem or something very, very similar. And the relief that comes with that, and I can see that relief on people's faces as they go throughout the day, is just amazing. Of course, when you are there on the one-day workshop, you also have the opportunity to ask me lots and lots of questions, all right, because you have me for the full day. So if you haven't been to the introductory level workshop, even if you have the book, that is most definitely the next step on your private practice journey and in getting the necessary skills and knowledge that you need to step it up in your practice and take your practice to that next level. Now, please note that this workshop is only for people that's been in private practice for a few months. So this one is not about, that I'm talking about now, it's not about starting a new private practice. This is when you've already been in private practice, ideally for 6 months or more, and you know that what you want is to expand, or maybe you're not sure whether you want to expand or whether you just want to stay a group, a solo private practice owner. I've had many people, solo practitioners, come to the workshop, and what they've done is said, Gerda, I want to expand, but I want to do it the right way. So I want to come in and I want to learn what is all the pitfalls to avoid. And I would go, oh, you are so clever. I wish I could have done that in the early days, but there was no such luck for me. Sorry guys, I'm just like doing reverse parking. And it's so easy. I actually cheat because I've got a reverse camera. You know, if you've got young kids and you do a lot of school pickups and drop-offs, you cannot have a car, well, that's just my belief, without a reverse camera. Look how easy was that. Amazing, amazing. And I've parked, I can put my car off, And I am 3 minutes late collecting my preppy, so I'm gonna have to finish this off pretty quickly because I don't want to upset the teacher because I'm late collecting him from school. As I promised, I will definitely come back. Check out your comments. Hi Naomi, I see you there. I will speak to you all again soon. Have a fabulous Friday and I'll speak to you again tomorrow. Bye for now.